Hey, good morning. Welcome to the 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show. A little bit later than normal. I don't know what normal is anymore, to be honest with you. But we're here and we're on. And yesterday I mentioned about the mastermind and giving a little update and how this Saturday we have a sprint review from my mastermind. And I wanted to talk about accountability is so key. Accountability to others is so key to growth. And I reflect on teams that don't progress, don't deliver, they don't have that accountability. I want to talk about a little bit how the mastermind set up and this accountability thing in a Scrum team and how it really helps where other things have failed. And for high performing teams, it's part of the activity. So it's the 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show. Oh, and why I'm late, because apparently last night about 11:30 we heard gunshots. So life in the big city. And then this morning, as we were walking the kids to school, my neighbor saw the shell casings that were on the ground, a block up and everything like that. So, yes, I had to see what was going on and go find out. And then the cops came and everything, and I pointed out to where all the shell casings were, so they could pick them up and figure out what it was. But anyway, life in a big city, something new every day that I wasn't expecting. So therefore, I was late because I'm nosy. I don't know. I'm just making sure everyone's okay. Make sure there weren't any holes in neighbors' houses and my house. But it was, I could tell you a whole story. But the funny part was, did you see anything? Well, one guy was there. He didn't see anything. He lives right around the corner and he didn't see it, but yet it was there. And then I'm like, my house is encased in brick from the early 1900s in my house. Unlike the new house that are getting built that are just sticks. It says, I'm staying in my brick house in case someone's unloading a clip of bullets in the street. I'm not coming out. And then I went and looked out later on when I walked the dog, and there was nobody out there. It was quiet. There was no dead bodies or anything like that. So anyway, life in the big city. What are you going to do? So that's my excuse for not being up like a half hour ago, almost an hour ago now, doing the show. So we'll go with that. Anyway, so we're here to talk about Scrum and Agile, not city life. So let's talk about Scrum and Agile. I'm going to show the European Union scroll because every Tuesday night we do a jobs program, talk about what's out there, because I want to give positive stuff to go get new stuff and keep you encouraged out there in the markets. Why do it? I mean, it is what it is. So, but it was positive this week, so I'm just putting that out. It was a good week for jobs in the Agile world. So what am I talking about? Accountability. And this goes to delivering value, not only to your customer, but to yourself. Because in this case, an example is a mastermind group that I put together. And by the way, we do have a coaching program, which includes the mastermind. And actually, it's really cheap right now because I'm redoing it, and it's going to go up in price as soon as I finish this marketing program, which is in my mastermind to hold me accountable to create this activity, Endless Loop. So anyway, it's a good thing. And I'm going to talk about accountability, how accountability is so key to producing and progressing in any one of these Agile programs. And people just don't see it. They think it's one person at a time. I said, no, it's group accountability. And that's key. And I found that. And I one day I'll show you some of the books I bought. But in the books, like I got a book this thick, I got a lot of little books, one-liner in all these books, the accountability is key. They tell you about everything else, but they don't tell you about accountability. And that's kind of how I teach Scrum and Agile. The book tells you all this stuff, but there's some keys in there that aren't in the book or are one-liners, and those one-liners are the key to success. And I share that on the show, those little one-liners, and go deeper into it. So what are we talking about? So developed an Agile Mastermind, part of my coaching program, which is only $1,000 for 6 months of coaching, right? Or there's a whole program on it. So if you go on my site, I'll put a link on it. If you go to the Slack channel, you'll find it on my website, which again, I'm going to be changing, and it's going to go up in price a lot. So, because I had to be realistic what it really is and how much effort that I'm really putting into it. So the idea is that you're in a sprint, you're in a thing. And one of the things I applied to this mastermind group is a group of people, which I think a Scrum team is a mastermind. And that's coming later too. You'll hear about that over the next couple months. the idea of accountability. So you can hold yourself. I can make a personal goal. How many times have we failed personal goals? My goal was to do this, fail. My goal was to do that, fail. Happens all the time, right? However, and then sometimes you add a coach in there, and now you think you have personal accountability to coaching. However, a lot of these coaches like, well, how would you solve that problem? And they ask millions of questions. And they really don't hold you accountable. The good coaches will hold you accountable, which takes it past the typical coaching thing. And you hold yourself accountable. Let's say, well, you're holding yourself accountable. Yeah, it kind of works. It's there, but not there. I'm overweight. I need to lose weight. I got to hold myself accountable. I'm kind of failing on that message, right? So personal accountability is there, but weak. Group accountability. Look at Scrum. We have a sprint planning. The group decides on what they're going to work as a whole. It's not individuals like I'll do this and I'll do it. No, the group decides. Group accountability, and then at the end is daily Scrum. How are you doing as a group? Reporting to the group. Right? You don't have this in the other one. That's why Kanban does a daily stand-up. That's why they do these things. It's the group accountability that's important. One, you can have a job that will fire you if you don't produce, but that can take months, if not years in some places, or until the company goes bankrupt and they just lay everyone off because they screwed up everything, right? So the group accountability. So you get sprint planning, group, daily Scrum, group. Then you have your sprint review, which is a group activity where everyone in the group should be a part of that. And this is where everyone messes up a little bit. I get it where certain people might show to a product owner, here's my one thing that I got finished, and no one else in the group sees it. It's very key in that sprint review to have the whole group see how everyone did, because you're showing to the group because they're peers. Peer pressure does work. Peer accountability does work more than necessarily the boss and more necessarily the kids and stuff like that and family and stuff. So in this mastermind, what we do is we all put our goals out there. We break down sprints and we lay it out so that we can achieve that, right? So that is laid out. Where the thing that we do is at every sprint, which a quarter, because things take time. We all work real jobs. We do all that stuff, and there's things to be done. In the end, what we look at is for the accountability of the group to report out to everyone else in the group and see how things are going. And we want them to present, right? So that's the key in this mastermind is not only do I help, so the way I set it up, here's the way I set it up. You do a coaching program. Part of it's the mastermind, because what I was finding is I was helping people solve problems, but I wasn't necessarily helping them achieve their goals. So by creating this shape and boundary of these goals, these OKRs that we have for every quarter, 1 or 2, they have to achieve that activity to get there, right? So that is the goal that we do. And in the end, that's what we deliver. Dogs barking. I don't know. Sounds like someone's outside. Who knows? But that's our goal. So we lay that OKR for the quarter, and every sprint we lay it out just like in Scrum. We do a check-in once a week to see how we're doing. And I'm kind of challenging everyone as a Scrum Master would. How are you doing? How do I see that you're progressing? How do you share that information? Now, this not only to me as a Scrum Master, but to the group as a whole, getting everyone to look at everyone's stuff, just like in Scrum. So I'm getting all this practice in how, if you really want to be a Scrum Master, definitely advise you. Join my coaching program, because right now, like I said, it's only $1,000. You get 7 months. 1 month free to figure if you like it, and then 6 months we're working it, right? But the idea is that you're accountable to the group. You got to present. It takes it to the next level, and that's what Scrum and Agile do. So group accountability is so key to making these processes work. That's why I think Scrum is so much better than Kanban and all the other ones, because Kanban, you can quickly make it into an individual event, where Scrum, it's not supposed to be. Now, a lot of companies do make it individual. That's not what it's supposed to be about. It's really supposed to be about a group. It's not about how many each person in Scrum team does their utilization and gets their work done. That's not what it's supposed to be about. It's about the whole group commits to it. How is we group help each other out to achieve our goal and to present stuff at sprint review and deliver stuff to the customer. That's the key. That's why Scrum is so good. Um, and like I said, I adapted that to the mastermind. So even myself, I'm looking at my. I don't know if I would. I'm catching myself putting things off and delaying stuff, but by having the sprint review and the dashboard and the Jira and the burn down charts and well, not the burn down charts. We haven't sized. That would be, I wanted to do that, but we didn't do that. Just having the workflow, what is done, what is next on my list, focusing on that, because I know this Saturday I have to present stuff to the group. I don't want to show up to the group and not have something to present. And I'm getting everybody. Remember, you got sprint review. You got to present whatever you worked on your goals for the sprint. You're going to present and share with the other teams, because they're your agile peers. They're your peers. Now this process can apply to anything. I'm just doing with agile people and how I coach. So that's what I just want to share with you. I went a little bit long just because I got distracted with the dog barking and everything like that. So I'm going to sign off, and I want to go see what the dog was barking at. But I want to wish you the best. Go on site. There's links and everything to my coaching program. It's a great deal. It's $1,000. You get 7 months worth of coaching. It's a one day a week, half hour to talk about whatever you need to do. And actually this whole marketing program is great, because I'm actually rethinking how I want to do this and how I want to focus. If you really want to become agile, what does that entail? Whole script, everything related to that program. But one of the nice things, if you have a goal, doing this thing with having the goal, reporting to a group of people is key to achieving your goal. With that, I say take care. We will see you tomorrow, and you have a happy day. Happy scrumming. Bye.